In this video, we're going to be offering some swing tips and some drills to help this gentleman out who's struggling with a push fade. Let's go putts around. Hit the ball. Boom. Hey guys, David Folk here, and on this channel we do golf club reviews, golf gear reviews, geek speak videos, and instructional videos just like this one. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. As we take a look at this gentleman here, there are a couple of things I want to address first off. The first one is going to be his grip. You can see right here how strong his grip is. He has it really far underneath with his hands. He also has his hands pushed in front of his spine. You can see if this is going to be his spine angle right here, you can see how far in front his hands are. I personally like to have the handle of the club pointing at the belly button, especially with the driver, because the driver is so long. It's more difficult to get square anyway. And what happens when you push your driver in front of you like that, that automatically opens up the face, which for a person who's struggling with a push slice, that's not going to help him at all. The next thing we want to talk about, as he takes his swing here, you can see how low and how shut the face is as he comes back. This is actually a pretty good turn. You can actually see here his back's to the ball. He has a good lean. Everything's looking great. His face is pointing to the sky here because of his strong grip. I'd like to see that pointed at us just a little bit more. And then as he comes through here, you can see how open that face is right here at impact. That is a way open face, and he might have hit that on the toe to open it up even more. And part of the reason for that is you can see how much shoulder lean here is there, and he's not getting around on the ball. And that's what I like to call a late cast. So as he comes through here, you can see his arm is barely extending here. His right arm is barely extending yet. And then as he comes through, it's still not even extended until he comes through the shot here, and that's where it's going to extend. I want to say he wants to feel like he's casting earlier or throwing that club out, down more, faster to help close that face a little more. So there are a couple of drills I have to help him, and they might help you as well. All right, guys, starting off, we can see that his grip is really strong. He has this grip that's almost like this, and we can see what happens when he comes through. If he's going to come through in a normal swing, this face is going to close this much. So what I would like to see is when he takes his club, he takes a grip, more of a neutral grip, where you can see 1 to 2 knuckles here. As you take a grip here, you can see that as it points up, and then when you lift your club up from the driver, you can see it's pointing to the sky. Not like this, but like this. And that's going to help him hit a little bit straighter, higher launching, lower spinning shot, just keeping that club face neutral, coming through at impact. So a couple of things when we talk about setup. I put my ball just inside of my right foot, which is going to be his left foot because he's a righty. But I like to have the butt of my driver pointing at my belly button. And what that's going to do is I take my setup, I'm pointing at you, and I pull my club up. You can see that already puts a little bit more of a draw pull bias on it, especially those guys struggle with a push fade slice. Putting it in front of your stance and looking like the club is going to be a little closed is going to actually give them a little bit more confidence in getting through the ball. Again, the driver is one of the most difficult clubs to get around on to square the club face up because it is the longest club. So putting it in front, taking a neutral stance, feeling like the club is pointing at your belly button as opposed to pushing it out here. You can see here is what my club looks like. If I pushed it out, you can see what happens to the face. The face opens up. That's going to naturally want you to hit more of a fade, slice, push, because the face, when you push your clubs, if I'm lined up here with you and I push my hands out here, you can see what happens to the face. Belly button, pushed forward. Belly button, push forward. So I want to encourage him, try his best to point the club at his belly button, line up with the ball here, take a neutral grip where you can see 1 to 2 knuckles. And that's going to help him with the setup so he feels like he's ready to go and can make that same setup every single time. I've done just those 2 simple things with a lot of people. Even when they come in to look at a fitting and they're like, oh, I hit my driver, blah, 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 and I always hit a slice. It's amazing how much distance, trajectory, less spin, and how much better they feel about their swing just making those two changes, the grip and the alignment. The biggest thing we want to work on when it comes to this gentleman's swing is to feel like he's casting the club early. What's happening with him as he comes through here, everything seems to move this way, and you can see his left elbow, or my left elbow, his right elbow is going to come through and leave the face open like this, causing him to push. And so he doesn't cast the club until he gets further away where this arm straightens up. I would like to see that arm straighter sooner so that he can get around on the club, come through, straighten, allow that club to turn, coming through the ball, squaring up the club face at impact. So a drill that I would recommend for this gentleman is going to take a couple of clubs, maybe 2 or 3 wedges. You're going to stand on your back foot, and then you're going to put your front foot behind you and point the toe on the ground like this. And what that's going to do is going to allow you to turn your body, allow your body to rotate through it without feeling like you can keep your elbow in and not extend it. So we're going to take our clubs. We got a couple of 3 clubs here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take some easy back swings. I'm going to put my foot back here, and it's going to be heavier. So it's going to be one of those that's going to be a little bit more difficult to do, swinging at full speed and assuming how good your balance is or isn't. So, I mean, you can grip it really wherever you want, down here, up here. So I'm indoors. I have a wall over here. So I'm just going to grip it right here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to point the toe back here. And when I take a swing, I have to try and allow my clubs to rotate through. So when I come back here, if I kind of hold it like this and send through, I'm going to fall forwards, which tells me that I'm keeping my elbow in and not allowing the clubs to come through, allowing my wrist to shut down, closing the club face, hitting it square. So take your stance, put your club back here, grab your clubs, take a backswing, and then allow everything to follow through the shot. That allows your face to close down. You can see how much my wrist is turning over. That's going to give you the sensation of getting that club closed at impact, allowing everything to come through so that you're not getting stuck and then having that push fade. It's just that muscle memory, allowing everything to turn a little bit more. That's going to help him out. So guys, those are the first 3 fundamental things I would work on with this gentleman. There are a couple of things that I'm sure you guys, if you want to post in the comments down below, maybe recommend some things he can work on as well as he progresses. Give him some swing tips. If you guys have any that might help him out as well, go ahead and post those down. If you have any questions or if there's something that you struggle with, post that down below. I'll be happy to take a look at your swing, see what I can do to help you guys out as well. While you're down there, guys, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up because YouTube likes that. Thanks for watching, and we'll chat with you next time. Put your foot back here, take your stance, grab your club,